Welcome back to the Standing on Business podcast. I'm your host, Michael, and I'm here with your co-host.
What's up, guys? I'm Jake.
How you guys doing today? And welcome back. Today we're going to be doing our 120-day challenge check-in. It is day 69 for us. Had a lot of frustrations going on through the week, but we'll talk about that in a minute. We're also going to be talking about work-life balance and how we feel it's crucial. It was crucial for us, at least, to find a maintain balance between the two. Something that is not really talked about because we're so busy working every day. But anyways, I want to go ahead and ask Jake how his last week was. Last week, he asked me to go ahead and take 7 days off of no drinking. He started his first day because it was I believe the first of the month, and he started his first day of no drinking for 2 months. We're a weekend, and I just want to know, how's the last week been for you?
Right, so yeah, like Michael was saying, February 1st, I decided to take 2 months of sobriety just to get my body clean and my mental clarity back, a little bit more strong. So the last week, we're on day 7. It's been, I don't want to say it's been easy because I'd be lying.
Be honest though. It's been tough.
Yeah, it's definitely been tough. Let me go ahead and take these off. I don't need these necessarily. But yeah, it's definitely been tough. I feel like the main issue is my reward system. Every time I do something productive or every time I feel a little bit of an accomplishment, my old reward system was always go grab a beer, go grab a tall can, go grab a shot, go celebrate. So just trying to redirect my reward system, I think, has been the main struggle. I'm not having like withdrawals. I'm not shaking. I'm not, you know what I mean? It's just my reward system. It's just like, I'm feeling like we have so much momentum going and we're just doing so well. It's like, I want a beer. I want to celebrate. I want to have a good time. I want to feel good,
You like to enjoy
Absolutely
a little bit of time after hard work.
I like to have a cold one at the end of the day or whatever. Or sometimes middle of the day. But that's where I realized my problem was, right? Like, I shouldn't be trying to, but 9, 10, 11 a.m. trying to crack a tall can. Like,
that's not so much of a reward system anymore.
That's not a strong enough discipline. It's a flawed factor of my reward system that I am being accountable for, and I'm realizing and I'm trying to fix that.
No, definitely. I mean, my point, what I was going to say is it's definitely a reward factor to enjoy a dessert, to have a nice steak after a long week, to even crack open a beer on the weekends with some friends to enjoy yourself. Like, those things are rewards and they should be treated as such. Now, when you're cracking open a beer before 10 a.m. on a Monday morning, it's kind of abuse at that point. And it's like, for some people, we don't want to admit the truth behind this. It's, we don't want to admit that sometimes when we drink a little bit more often than we need to, we're being a bit of an alcoholic. But that's the scientific term of using alcohol in that definition.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's important for you to kind of readjust your reward system.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Take a breather,
Yeah, definitely detox, take a breather.
Because I love beers, man. It's like there's something, like, that's the thing is, like, I don't feel like I'll ever be one of those guys that is like, oh, I drank in my 20s and my 30s and now I'm not going to drink for the rest of my life. Like, because there's something beautiful that I find in having a drink when you're not supposed to. Like, you and your buddy, they're like, let's get a drink. Like, you just give each other that look, like, like, you know what I mean? Like, we're at lunch, or whatever. But, like, there's something beautiful in that. Or having a nice drink at dinner, having a toast. Like, there's, like, so that part of life is beautiful. And like you said, it should be more, what's the word? Like, it shouldn't be so every day. It shouldn't be every day.
It should be a rare occasion. It should be treated as such. It should be treated as a reward that you're definitely able to enjoy. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It shouldn't be just,
Definitely. I know for me personally, it was a struggle because I do drink pretty often, more than I can. I would tell you honestly, I don't have a problem, but I would drink every day, so I think that's probably a problem. I don't know, but I also use it.
At what point does it become a problem? At what point is it? Because I mean,
when you drink every day, I think when you drink, I mean, like I said, like I don't personally. It's like it's kind of opinionated too. It's kind of subjective.
But does it ever get in the way of anything like creatively? Does it ever? Because like I feel like if it doesn't, then there's no problem there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so for me, like the main problem was like I was drinking to escape my current state of mind. Like I didn't want to face my problems head on, and drinking that temporary just feel good, you know.
Well, for me, I feel like it's when it takes away from productivity.
There you go.
You know, when I start to sidetrack to continue drinking, or I'm sidetracked because I'm drinking and I'm not taking full advantage of the opportunities I have throughout the weekdays, and the weekdays are the most effective time to get business done, actual work done.
We should be utilizing every hour, right?
Yeah, most
we shouldn't be slowing our brain down, our creative process down.
Yeah.
With weed, with alcohol, with drugs, any of it.
Yeah, because I mean, naturally our minds can operate at a very high efficiency. Yeah. And I mean, when we're really just hindering ourselves with inhibitors, inhibitors being like things that intoxicate you or get you drunk or get you high. Yeah. For anybody that might not understand what some of the words are, I know sometimes the words are a little, but all jokes aside, things that create stimulation just cause you to be more distracted, and you use these stimulations to veer away from your main focus. So I think it's really important to, kind of use these things as rewards and stay away from them. But again, what I was saying is I do I drink a lot, drink every day, not a lot, but every day. And so when it came down to you challenging me to not drink for 7 days, dude, I was like, yeah, it's no problem. Whatever, 7 days, easy.
Deep down, you're like,
It was right before the weekend too. And I was like, dude, it's Friday now. Like, I want to drink. Like, I want a tall boy or something. Yeah. You know what I mean? I want to,
So how has the last week been for you?
I remember because we were dialing in a lot of. By the way, I hope you guys liked the production. I think we're, the video production. Yeah.
Let's take a second to really congratulate ourselves and because we've been putting in a lot of work, guys. I don't know if.
In the past week, we've definitely put a lot of work. Let me know what you guys think in the chat, or if you guys hear anything in the. Or, if you guys are not watching this live, give us a comment. Let me know what you guys think of the new production. Mm-hmm. But it was frustrating to see. Excuse me, to say the least. Sorry, that was a Powerade burp, not a beer burp. No, but
Honesty, right?
Jake and I were dialing all this stuff in while trying to also detox from drinking alcohol, and I think things got a little frustrating.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. For sure, we were getting pretty frustrated, huh?
Definitely,
and not having that because we're so used to having that.
The stimulant to just kind of cool us down. Like, forget about it. I haven't had a couple drinks.
A load off,
I forget this. I'm just gonna crack another one. Here's another beer, or whatever. Chill out too.
So not having that, and then also while facing all the pressures that we've faced. Self-inflicted, of course. Like we're doing this. We're choosing.
Right. We're choosing hard.
Grow. Yeah.
We're choosing hard.
We're choosing hard. And so wow, that's an interesting way to look at it. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. No, it was definitely tough the past week for me. And I definitely took that into account over the weekend too, because that's typically the weekends is when you drink. I don't know. Not when you drink. Not written rule or anything like that, but
for me it is.
I like to drink on the weekends, especially. I like to drink, especially more so on the weekends. But it has been a tough past week. But enough about that. I was talking. We did mention about how work-life balance has been a bit crucial factor for us, and I know that before I was spending 80% of my hours, not just my hours awake, my actual hours at work, working, trying to work overtime, trying to work more, trying to work to make money.
Get the bag. That's what they tell us to do, right?
Yeah. And I was thinking to myself, why do I work so much? I can't afford my bills. Yeah. What do I want? I want the nice new car. I want the nice new phone. I want the new payment that's going to get me stuck in everything. And, I didn't really take any of those things into account. But I did just see recently a post on the Morning Brew.
Nice.
It was a quote I have written down here. It's actually 60% of U.S. millennials. This was on, I think, Tuesday or
is it an article or it was
Monday morning. It was an article post on Instagram. I seen it.
Okay.
Yeah. So 60% of U.S. millennials would take up to 20% pay cut for a better work-life balance.
Wow. I believe it. For
sure.
Know? Yeah.
And I mean, U.S. millennials are, that's a good account for a lot of us.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we got some of you guys listening right now, and I'm pretty sure we do.
Yeah.
I think we kind of need to take into. I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think you would work more to make more money, to buy more shiny things, or would you cut back on your expenses a little bit to kind of have more of a
better quality of life, huh? Well, I mean, that post resonates with me a lot right now, actually, because that's kind of the path that I'm on. Before you and I, started this journey of self-improvement and this 120-day challenge, I was basically in that mode, that work mode. I was choosing work every time over everything else, over my own health, over my relationships with my loved ones. I think I was using it as an outlet to escape my problems as well. Just alcohol and work. That's all I would, you know what I mean? Like, so I
kind of just numbing and getting away from
not trying to
the
think,
truth.
Yeah, not trying to think of anything. Just working myself to the bone, dead tired, to where literally I had no problem falling asleep at night. You know. So,
if you have a reason, if you need to work very hard to make a certain amount of money, and your mind is set on that number amount that you are trying to attain as far as your goal, then it's important to stay locked in and work those hours and pick up as much overtime as possible. That's completely understandable.
Absolutely.
But if you're overworking yourself, overextending yourself in your work, and prioritizing your job over your life,
your marriage, your kids, absolutely.
It's important to kind of really reanalyze, or what I did at least, I reanalyzed what was important to me. Do I want to make more money to afford more shiny things? Because I feel like that's what I was doing. I want to buy the new iPhone 15. It's going to cost me an extra $50 a month. I want to buy the new car. It's going to cost me an extra $120, $200 a month.
Absolutely.
It's going to cost me an extra percentage of my income that I'm going to have to work more for.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to pick up more hours. I'm going to have to. So I decided that what's more important to me? Do I want to work more hours to afford these things to impress people that I don't even care for?
Yeah.
Because that's the majority of what it was. Like I want to just wear nice things.
You're not getting it for yourself, really.
I want to drive the.
Because if you think about it, if you were doing any of that for yourself, if you were working that hard for yourself, you'd be investing that money into stocks, bonds. How am I going to make my money work for me? How am I going to... You'd be thinking smart, not, how am I going to look cool when I go out? What's going to get me more attention on, How
much attention can I get with these things that I buy, with the money, with the hours that I'm spending and hating my life at this... Because, I mean, in reality, unless you're like, you just found the perfect job that just tends to work for you, then that's great.
Kudos to you.
Kudos to you. Seriously, I wish I could do something like that.
Yeah.
We all do. We all wish we could find a nice job that fits our lives. But the general truth is, it doesn't typically happen like that, and it's grueling. I know I didn't like to work the hours that I was putting in. I wasn't. Those were the hours that I felt like were just blackout hours that I just didn't want to remember.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to just work this position and obviously maximize my opportunities.
You're trading your time for money.
But I just wanted to find the next thing, and that's why I've always been the type of person to like kind of consider these things, and that's I guess why I took it into account of how to where does work, when and where do I prioritize my life over my job. I guess kind of a random theoretical question. Do you think you'd be able to survive off of a 30? Because that post is like a 20% pay cut, which would be equaling out like to like 20% of your 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
Which would be about 8 hours. Do you think you'd be able to live off of 32 hours a week? Do you personally?
I think I would adjust.
You would?
I would adjust, yeah. It would be hard at first.
Yeah.
Like anyone, nobody wants to, but it's like
can't go to Panda Express as often anymore. You can't.
Absolutely, yeah. I think I would adjust.
Can't just decide to hit the Del Taco drive-thru whenever you feel like it, or
absolutely
buy that new. You don't have to actually save up for the new pair of shoes rather than buying them all at once.
Absolutely, and in that time that I'm getting back, not having to go trade my time for money, in the time that I'm getting back, I would try to invest that time into self-actualization, learning, and trying to maybe
where you can park your money to make you more money, right?
Fix my work-life balance. Yeah, I'd be trying to focus on that.
No, yeah, I definitely agree with that because I would probably struggle. I probably wouldn't be able to buy myself.
You'd be unhappy at first.
Yeah, I'd probably not like it because I'm used to spending money. I'm used to saying, randomly when I feel like it, let's go buy a steak dinner, and it's really not that necessary. It was nothing to celebrate. It's just I'm spending money just because I want to. I would have to cut back on those extra pleasures. But I don't think that's too much to...
It's not too much to lose, no.
Not too much to lose if I do reinvest that money and it doubles, triples, or even 10x's itself in whatever investment. If it's an investment in myself, or like how we've done here with our podcast, we've invested into all these lights and things like that. Hopefully we get a good return on whatever we do here. Or it's an investment in the stock market that's actual money that you're able to see a benefit from. So I think that's cool.
Absolutely.
Where do you feel like you struggle with setting boundaries with your work life? Like, where do you think that starts? Like, where do you think we start? Is it because, what do you think?
So for me, I'll say since 14, the whole flex culture really hit me hard, right? The whole, you gotta look richer than you are, you gotta dress in clothes that you can't afford, you gotta do all these things to impress people that really don't, like, genuinely don't care. You might look cool for a second, most of the time you don't, but... So I think since a young teenager, I grew up with that mentality of that flex culture, you know, and so the question was, where do I set boundaries?
Yeah, like in your boundaries between your life and your job, your job and your life.
So that's actually something that's literally actually something that I'm just starting to work on. So I'm taking tips, you know, if anybody else has tips.
Better question, why do you think we struggle with setting those boundaries? Why do you think we...
Yeah. Definitely, so why we struggle, I'll say back to the...
Why do you choose your job over your life a lot of times?
Absolutely. So that's definitely, it's fear-based, you know? You don't want to work so hard for something. The nice car, the iPhone 15, the nice house. You don't want to work all this hard for something, trying to impress people. The whole time you're trying to impress people, because like you could have the Honda Civic, you could have the apartment, you could live in all these
the chill, easygoing lifestyle,
and not have the fear of, well, if I don't go to work tomorrow, I won't make the income, and then I'll be late on my. You know what I'm saying?
I'll lose out on my bills and my expenses. Like I won't be able to pay for the Tesla.
I'll lose my lifestyle.
And
I'll lose my
the flex ego, that I have.
Exactly.
So I flex this like car so much.
Absolutely. That's why I don't think it's about that. I don't think true happiness or true joy comes from making more money. I think it comes from doing the right things and having your money work for you and being financially free. Like financially free and without fear in that aspect.
That's the goal.
So that's our goal, you know, for sure. But yeah, to get back to the question, I'd say it's fear-based, for sure, for me at least. To go from not wanting to look poor, not wanting to look like whatever, like, oh, he's driving around a 2002 Honda Civic. Nobody thinks like, oh, he might be like on a mission right now to save $100,000. That's why he's driving that Honda Civic. No, it's always like, oh, he looks broke. So getting over that little hump, that little fear of like, who gives a shit what the hell these people think of me? Dude.
I'll be alright driving around.
It's like a breath of fresh air. It's like a breath of fresh air.
If I'm saving money.
See me in the Civic, say what's up.
Right. No, definitely. I think it's very important to obviously. Well, for me, and what's worked for me is realize my expenses from the beginning, from the get go, and not. I know I had a very bad habit of just spending haphazardly.
Yeah.
So like I think the last goal that I had was to kind of start tracking my money in that app tracker we talked about before.
How's that been going? You've been keeping up on it?
It's been kicking my ass just looking at the extent. Because I mean I'm not. So my biggest process and system is in self improvement is to first track your data, your numbers, whatever it is, your metrics. Yeah.
You want to see the numbers.
You want to see the numbers.
Easiest way to compartmentalize anything, right?
Yeah, like you just start to put down every day what you did for about a month, and then you look back at that month and you reflect. You don't change anything. You don't say I'm gonna cut back, I'm gonna do this, but then you look back at that month and you reflect. Where can I make changes? Where can I make based off of this number amount, based off of the way I did, whatever I did, how I performed this month.
Ultimately, where can I do better?
Where can I do better? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But for me, I think what was the struggle to set boundaries from my life and work was that I spent too much time thinking that I needed more money, thinking that working my job's going to make me more money to afford, to afford whatever it is I want, like afford the next step in my life, or if I worked hard, I'm going to make, I mean, it's almost, not that it's impossible, but it's almost nearly impossible to make a fortune, a good living off of just one sole income alone.
Right.
And I didn't realize that at first, but I was trying so hard. Like, if I just keep working super hard, I'm going to invest all my life into this to make as much as I possibly can. But, I mean, the reality is multiple streams of income is what creates wealth.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I didn't realize at first. And so now what I'm trying to do is put my eggs in different baskets to help them create more wealth in the long run. And my eggs, I mean like my time and I guess my resources and money, like using the money to make more money for me and using my time to in different ways to hopefully capitalize on making more money.
Absolutely.
So I do wanted to also ask, what has helped you adjust to prioritizing your life over your job?
What has helped me? So definitely taking a period of time to reflect on myself while I was working so hard. I feel like I didn't get the full benefit from it because I was drinking a lot. But I think taking that time definitely helped me reflect and realize that, hey, to see what's important, right? To see like, okay, money does come and go. It goes just as fast as it comes. And exactly like what we were saying, the more you make, the more you end up spending. And I was kind of starting to realize that. I was like, yeah, I'm making great money, but why am I spending so much money? So it's like trying to just self-actualize and readjust my habits to make that type of money and not feel like I need to reward myself so heavily or buy the fanciest truck to impress the wrong people. I just want to focus on me and the people who matter to me. Right?
Yeah.
So that's definitely the main driving factor right now, for sure.
Definitely. Self-improvement. Yes. Self-improvement. The whole premise of this podcast, and I want to shout you guys out for staying in with us and tuning in and always showing love, always being there and all the love in the chat. We definitely appreciate that so much.
One love.
We definitely want to keep providing value for you guys. I'm super excited to just keep this thing going and you guys keep us flowing.
Yes.
But I definitely realize that there's different things that I want in life than just money.
Right.
I mean, for right now. So I guess I kind of I want to prioritize my life balance. I want to experience what my experience is going to be in this life. Mm-hmm. So I decided to let me not work so much for the money. Let me work more for my life and what works for me rather. Yeah. And I know it's not as easy for some people because they've got a lot of external factors like a family, and other things like that. But, just try to take advantage of.
But if I can say one thing, because I get it, and I hate to cut you off, I'm sorry, but how you say it's not easy for most people, it is. It's not as hard, though. Let me say that. It's not as hard, though, as it may seem. Because the majority of people, they do have time, but what happens when they get home from the job? They hate. For one, they may hate their current situation. They may hate their current lifestyle. So they're on the game. They get on the game. They crack a beer. They're trying to escape their reality. When in all actuality, the time that they're investing in that, they could be investing in how to escape, how to learn a new skill, how to escape their current situation. Yeah. But the way they're escaping their current situation is all bad habits. The video game, the alcohol, that's why I'm like, you don't get me wrong, I'll whip some ass on Street Fighter. I'll get on some games every once in a while, but that stuff is bad. Social media or scrolling, for instance, even just scrolling.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of time that it takes away from you.
Not to mention the porn, that stuff, bro. That stuff corrupts your mind and it consumes you.
The bad habits are really just taking away from. They're really distracting us from taking better action.
So to the average person who says, "I don't have enough time," it must be easy for you because you're allocating all this time. It must be easy because we're allocating all this time because of the other things we're not wasting our time on.
Yeah. Yeah.
We work very hard.
Actionable actualizations for sure. I definitely think that most people are I mean, for me even, mm-hmm. I spent too much time thinking that I guess it doesn't really matter too much how much time I spend wasting on the video game or drinking or anything like that. But it is really important to kind of take those things into account, take those things into
consideration,
how much time, because it does take this alone. I mean, us starting this and this
we could have got a few rounds of Apex in, just in setting this up, or more than a few,
Absolutely. And
just saying.
I guess another one I wanted to ask you is, have you considered a priority checklist?
So actually, I will shout you out, Mike, because hearing about your day after you've been implementing that, it's it's rubbing off on me. Like, it's making me want to start doing it. So I've done it since we've started our challenge, right? And I've seen the little success that it's brought, but I haven't dialed it into the point to where, like, I know I can, and I'm excited to see where that actually will take my day.
It sounds so complex. It sounds like all the extra hard stuff that it's just a couple extra steps. I mean, just opening up your notes, and that's all I do is really just open up my notes, and I put in the tasks that are most important for me for the day, and I'll try to just execute one by one. Sometimes one gets past me, and I'll be honest, I don't execute everything all the time, but it definitely helps out, and I've definitely been moving. I mean, with so many things keeping me moving nowadays, though, like I don't really have much of an option. Like I'm either behind on the podcast, I'm either behind on the DJ live stream, or I'm either behind on my website and my real estate.
So which one do I want?
I gotta just
keep rotating.
Yeah, I always have something going on, so it's like always staying busy with that. But
standing on business.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely, very excited to just keep everything going. We are going to be talking a little more about standing on business here in the next week. I have a pretty cool little surprise for you guys coming at the end.
Little announcement, huh?
Little announcement, yeah, definitely. But I mean, I think it is really important for us to remember again that it's not about. Well, for me, I also have to remind myself that it's not about buying that new car, buying those new shoes to show off that I can have new shoes and a new car or whatever. It's because it's ultimately going to cost me more time at my job.
Yeah,
it's going to cost me. Those things
more
are not like
your life.
More time of my life.
Being in that miserable place that no one wants to be at, doing the thing that no one wants to do.
Your job is meant for you to make the money to give back to your own personal investments. And I mean, we all obviously, no one's telling you to make an investment or do something with your money. We all have our own decisions to make with our own money and our own thought process. But if I was to consciously make the decision to put my money in the right place while I work for it, and then have my money work for more money, basically.
Right. Your money working for you. So you working for your money?
Yeah. I guess I would be in a better place. And I guess that's just a message that I wanted to kind of spread out to everybody that may be watching the podcast or following along. Yeah. Sometimes we have endeavors that we want to kind of go after, but we feel like the work-life balance just doesn't make sense. But it's important that it's what you got to, what you want to prioritize, and what I've prioritized.
Specifically, you got to realize what you want and live accordingly.
Yeah.
I wish I would have got that quote out of that book about the good, living good, or however it was said. It was a good one.
And the 7 Habits of Highly Effective Individuals or Highly Effective People.
Stephen Covey.
Yeah, it's a good book. But I do want to go ahead and just thank you guys again for hopping on. This week.
Yeah, Friday.
Big announcement. Saturday. We're going to be having a credit repair specialist here on the show. He's going to be talking a little bit about what typical questions to help build a first-time, credit score.
Let's go.
And even rebuilding your credit score if you've had some issues in the past.
Oh, I'm going to be asking him all kinds of stuff for my credit, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we could all take value from, and there's a lot of things that we don't actually understand. I mean, I didn't know until I had this conversation with him that you can actually, dispute some things in your credit, and it's not even that hard.
Just get wiped off, huh?
Yeah.
And he probably knows the ins and outs on how to do it, who to talk to, the right ways to do it.
Yeah.
So, and if you guys have questions, think about what you might want to ask them. Come add some value in the comments. Because while we have them here, you guys are just like us. Like if you guys have questions, we're more than welcome to answer them on the live stream.
Definitely. I'm sure we're going to have him here in person.
Yeah, he'd be
It'll be your guys' opportunity to ask any questions about credit repair or even your credit journey. Yeah. If any of you guys are looking to buy a car.
Or just random questions, like
mortgage a house. Yeah. You got tons of value here on the show. We're going to be bringing to you guys this Saturday. It's going to be a midday show, so I'm pretty excited for that because in the evening we are going to be doing my first ever high fuse presentation in Palm Springs. It's going to be live. I'm super excited about that.
Let's go.
In the daytime, we are going to be doing this credit specialist. It's going to be
we're working Saturday.
professional segment here on Standing on Business.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the name.
Yeah, definitely. Let me know what you guys think. Definitely want to hear you guys' feedback. Again, this is Michael.
And I'm Jake Baker. And we're out. Thank you for the time.
Definitely.